SEO doesn't work anymore. Exact match domains don't work anymore. It's all getting too hard. AI is going to take over. Backlinks are too expensive. AI overviews are taking all the traffic. You're much better off quitting SEO and spending 10 grand a month on paid ads that don't actually convert. These are just some of the misconceptions we've all been facing over the last year or so. And of course, SEO has died many times over the last 10 years. And there have been plenty of times where myself, I've stepped back and thought, do I really want to keep on doubling down on this single traffic source? Is there potentially a better way? But of course, if you stop marketing, then you stop selling. And in our case, if you stop doing SEO, then you're not going to get any SEO results at all. And now more recently, having doubled down on working out what's really working well right now, and finding it, suddenly I'm seeing the world is wide open with opportunities. Opportunities that I think are going to last much longer, even with the rise of AI search. So let's take a really good niche like dentistry. Now, whenever we're doing any kind of lead generation, we always talk about the life cycle of the customer and how long to actually close the deal. What is the purchase intent of that customer? So a lot of high ticket services, that person's probably going to hang on for months and years before even making a decision. Whereas as marketers, we're really looking for the impulse buys, the urgent buys. And it's for that reason that whenever you put emergency next to a high value keyword, it tends to be much more valuable traffic. Because that's someone who's not going to hang around. They need to fix a problem right now. So these tend to be goldmine niches. So traditionally, the emergency dental niche is a really good one. And of course, New York is one of the most valuable cities to be an emergency dentist. So you'd have thought this exact match domain of emergency dentist NYC would be doing something pretty special. You're going to think this is a DR50-60 site with lots of backlinks, lots of power, except if I come up here, it's got a domain rating of just 1. And yet it's ranking for 680 keywords, and getting 2,200 visitors a month, with a traffic value of $5,000 per month. So if we actually look at the keywords, you can see we're number 1 for emergency dentist NYC. Again, exact match domains don't work anymore. I've been told that very firmly by SEO Twitter. And yet for some reason, emergencydentistnyc.com ranks number 1 for emergency dentist NYC with the domain rating of 1. But okay, exact match domains don't work anymore. That's fine. Obviously there's something going on. Maybe the content is really, really good. Maybe they've got perfect on-page. They're using a tool like Cora, and they're really digging down into the weeds and getting the perfect on-page. Well, on the face of it, it doesn't look like, because having run a surfer audit on it, this got a content score of just 39, which is way below the average of the top 10 results competing. Let's have a look through and see what it actually looks like. So we've got a page of text basically saying who we are, where we do it. Then we've got a list of dentists, and then a call to action to actually read deeper, some photos of their office, some social media links, a bit of insurance information, and that seems to be pretty much it. Is there anything hidden in the source code I should know about? There are some more advanced SEO tactics where if you don't want all this text on the homepage, you can hide it within the source code using hidden divs, and yet that doesn't seem to be happening here. So nothing sneaky going on there. Why don't we have a look at some of these backlinks and see how powerful they are? So how many have we got? We've got 78 groups of links if we filter to 1 link per domain. Now in terms of the quality of those links, let's filter down to best links, see how many they've got. Sometimes this can be quite surprising when you find a top ranking site has maybe got 1 or 2 high quality backlinks, or maybe even none. And in this case, we seem to have 1. So to clarify, the Ahrefs filter for best links, that's purely an Ahrefs filter that doesn't necessarily reflect on broader SEO, but I do like the categories they've chosen. They say it should be an in-content, do-follow link, minimum DR of 30, minimum traffic of 1,000. And so you get the idea that it's a proper editorial link with power. But that seems to be the only one. And even then, it's actually a directory listing. Now, it looks like this is a real dental practice, but if you weren't a real dental practice, how would you actually monetize that? Well, if we go to a pay-per-call network, that's basically an affiliate network where they pay you for leads and calls. We can see bids for dental leads are between $13 to $126 per call. As an affiliate, you get 50% of whatever this amount is, and that's decided on what they're bidding. So an emergency dentist in New York is obviously going to be a much higher bid than a lot of others. But let's be conservative. If we take that $13 and assume we're getting the absolute minimum and not the full $126, this is a website that's getting 2,000 traffic per month. So if we assume maybe 20% of the people who are searching for emergency dentist NYC and land on this website are going to actually click and call, I suspect the number's probably going to be higher. That's going to be 400 calls per month. So if we even take the lowest rate of $13, we get 15% of that. So that's $6.50 per call. So that's $2,600 per month. Let's take it up a bit and assume maybe they're getting $50 per call, in which case we get $25. And that takes us to $10,000 per month. And maybe we're being a bit conservative with that 20% click-to-call rate. So maybe let's take it to a 30% click-to-call rate. So that'd be 600 calls a month, $25 commission. That's then $15,000 per month. So this is all pure speculation, but based on the data, it really looks like anyone could rank for emergency dental work in a major city. And this has been my major fixation with SEO for the last couple of months, realizing that for high-ticket local services, the opportunity is wide open. You only need really a one-page website, maybe with a few pages of supporting content, an about page, contact, something like that, maybe a range of other services available in that location within your niche. But fundamentally, we're not talking about a 100, 200 page blog anymore, answering every best or review query. It's just one page, highly optimized, saying, I am this in this location and this is what I do. I am an emergency dentist in this city. Call now to book. And as we've seen, you don't need a whole lot of backlinks to rank for a load of these queries. I've also got a process for going through Ahrefs and screening out, trying to find the lowest competition niches that still have value, and from that working out which .com domain names are actually available as an exact match. From there, I'm budgeting just a couple of $100 for some basic citations and a press release. And in terms of the website build, it takes me now 7 minutes to build an optimized website. And that means I can do a lot of them at scale. So I've launched about 30 websites this week alone, and over the next few weeks and months, I'm going to be identifying the winners that are really responding well to that initial $200 investment, and then go hard on them to really scale to high profitability. I'm looking at $5,000 to $10,000 per website for the successful ones, and that more than pays for the duds that don't perform. Now, I've spent most of this week recording my whole process for my course on how I'm building these one-page websites. I really think it's the perfect solution to the fact that 2 years ago you could build a side hustle blog and have a decent side income from that. And while that can still work, it's much less likely to work. Google's really signaled it doesn't like those sites anymore. Whereas this local lead generation through one-page websites seems to be a perfect replacement for that model. Now, obviously, this course has been anticipated for a while whilst I've been figuring out the process that's truly repeatable. And I've said before, if you sign up to this list, then you'll be notified when the course launches with a limited number of free places available if you're on that list. So I reckon I'm now about 2/3 of the way through the course. And of course, there's going to be plenty of updates to come as I continue to update and refine this process. But for now, I'm pretty confident in saying I'll be able to release those first few free places on Monday morning UK time. And then even if you miss out on the free places, I'm going to have a really generous Black Friday deal available for the rest of that week, as long as you're on the list. So click the link below to sign up. I know you're going to be bombarded with offers at the moment, and of course the make money online niche is always a bit sketchy. I've spent months doing this. I'm absolutely convinced that if you just want to make an extra 2 or 3 grand a month, that kind of job replacement income where you're not going to be making millions, but it's a nice nest egg to either build up your savings or quit your day job, I think this is the path of least resistance, the easiest way to get to that point. Find some profitable niches, launch some one-page websites, monitor them over a few weeks and months to see how they're actually trending, and then go hard on the winners and actually invest and scale in the winners once you know you've got ROI coming in.